There is no success on YouTube without being consistent, uploading videos regularly. However, that's not enough. If you don't have the right strategies, you're never going to experience the growth and the views that your content really deserves. So in this video, I interview Tim Schmoyer, and he breaks down 5 essential YouTube growth strategies that will start helping you get more subscribers and views right now. What is up, and welcome back to Video Influencers. I am Sean Cannell, and this channel is all about helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. Today, I am here with the YouTube expert legend, Tim Schmoyer, and we're going to be breaking down 5 strategies that position your YouTube channel for massive growth and greater impact. But Tim, you've been on the show multiple times. Thanks for coming back. But for those that are just meeting you, what's your heart and passion, and what are you up to in life?
Yeah, I started on YouTube in 2006 as a way originally to connect my girlfriend with my family across the country and introduce her. And along the way, we just discovered that the thing that we really like about YouTube is using this as a platform to reach more people and change their lives with the message that you're spreading and building businesses and making money so that's sustainable long term. It's awesome, like a win-win-win for everybody.
You have an incredible channel, Video Creators, and of course we'll link to resources in the description below, but let's dive right into the strategies. And tip number 1 is actually having a channel strategy. What's that mean?
First of all, you guys need to know before you dive in, if you want massive growth and success on YouTube, you need to know exactly who you're targeting and like who wants to watch your content, and then 2, why should they care? So you, I think, do this probably better than most people I've seen on YouTube, better than myself, I'll even say, where it's like Sean knows exactly who, who is your most ideal audience here?
Yeah, I think our most ideal, clearly, are people who want to grow with video. So they don't necessarily want a podcast. They don't necessarily want to balance their taxes.
Right.
So they don't want to blog.
Right.
But even more so than that, entrepreneurs is really where we have an event now called Grow with Video Live. And so how are we different? Well, some blend with creators. So we're saying the #1 video marketing conference for entrepreneurs.
Right. He's told you already, we're only like a minute or 2 into this video, and you've also told them why they should care, which is we're going to help you grow your influence, impact, and income with online video. So we're only at 5 minutes in, and you already know, oh, this is for me, and yes, that's what I want, that's why I care. And so you guys need to do the same thing that Sean does with your channel. How long does it take a viewer to figure out, do I want this? Is this for me? Yes or no?
Man, I love that. And so tell us in the comments down below, who is it that you're trying to reach, and why should people care about your content? Let us know in the comment section. And then number 2 is channel design. What's that mean?
So this is how you design your channel to intentionally communicate to your target audience, this is what I'm all about. There's one thing to kind of know, oh, like I'm going after entrepreneurs, or I want them to grow with online video. But if you don't communicate this clearly and precisely as you did, they got to do a lot of homework to figure it out. And most people won't do a lot of homework. They're going to come to your channel and they'll maybe give it a few seconds, maybe even like a minute or 2. And if they don't get it, they're out and they're not coming back. So it really needs to be clearly designed into the channel art. Like that first time viewer is like, oh, is this the first time on Sean's channel? Like, what is this all about? You can see in your channel art exactly what it's all about. And then the sections below it, the titles, the thumbnails, everything clearly communicates that value proposition to that target audience.
You know, a story that we heard actually was a research study Microsoft did, and this was about the attention span of humans and the attention span on the internet in general and on YouTube. And they were studying goldfish, and they realized that goldfish have an 8-second attention span before they lose focus. And then that's why you have the small bowl, and they're like, I found the castle again. Yeah. It's brand new. But then what they realized was because of social media and phones and all the distraction and culture right now, that humans now have a 7-second attention span.
7 seconds.
And so you can look at your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, and tell them that you got the attention span of a goldfish. You can just tell them that. Maybe
Sean
don't do
said
that.
So.
Well, what does that tell us? I think that's actually a metric we've seen across in marketing, that when people land on a video, they land on your channel, they look at your cover, you don't have much time. You either confuse or you lose.
Exactly.
Or if you confuse, you lose. Yeah. So you want to have clarity. And so you want them to be able to, in a snapshot, you only have a few seconds at the beginning of your video, a few seconds in your thumbnail, right?
Yeah.
To actually get people's attention and to be clear with your message.
So when Sean does a lot of your content, I notice is you say, in this video, and then super clear message, like no question. And the bonus tip here, what Sean also does is he makes it revolve around the value or the reward that you're going to get. So it's not about what we're going to talk about, it's the benefit that you're going to get if you watch this whole video. Because that's the thing you ultimately want. You probably don't want to learn about watch time and audience retention. You want to learn about how do I get more views and subscribers, make more money. So making that really clear is like very very, very important to get momentum on YouTube.
Man, if you're getting value out of this video, smash the like button. We learned, number one, that we need to define our channel strategy. Number two, our channel design. But number three, then we need video strategy. What does that mean?
All this stuff is great, but it doesn't make a difference if people are like, oh, they get into your content and then they're disappointed. And they're like, oh, this video didn't hold my attention. This isn't what I was here for. Or maybe they pitched it in the beginning, but they're like 3 minutes into it and it's just not giving them what they expected to get from the content. So it's really important that you think through the title and thumbnail, the expectation that sets, and then the opening hook and how that takes the expectation and either increases the tension that was in the brain or makes it like even ups the ante or something so that they keep watching. And then it's using your audience retention graph so that you're crafting a video strategy that captures and holds their attention and includes like the end screens. What action do you want them to take after the video is done? What action do you want them to take? Is it to watch another video? Is it to click a link in the description? Is it to subscribe? Is it to comment? And crafting all that so that this video is designed to accomplish the one thing that I wanted to do. Not 15 things, rank number one, get lots of comments, generate number of sales, be like, whatever, like go big on Reddit. Like trying to do all those things with one piece of content almost means it'll do none of them well. So I would focus on the one thing and craft the content, your video strategy for that.
And Tim, what would you say, because that is dead accurate and a really good tip, but also could feel a little overwhelming when you're just getting started. So what encouragement would you have for creators that are like, well, geez, I'm kind of overwhelmed with the crafting of my content. Am I doing it right? And so is it a process to kind of grow into that and to just try to get 1% better with each video? Or
yeah, I would like a structure to start with would be before you shoot, and Sean does this, is know what your title and thumbnail is before you start shooting. That's the best way to make the opening hook connect with what the expectation that someone has when they click. And then, so maybe a quick branded intro. The goal there is not just to make your logo do some sort of nice pixel dissolve or something, but it's to further pitch, this is what our brand is all about. So it's your value proposition to your target audience. So if like video creators, it's master YouTube, spread your message, video creators TV. So it's only 3 seconds long. So that. Then next, open up with a quick welcome. You did that here in this content. Great to see you, I'm Sean, Tim, and today, and then get right into the thing. That's your content. That's the next thing you want to do, is deliver exactly what they're there for. And then towards the end is when you want to, don't wrap it up and say like, well guys, I hope this was helpful. Let me know. People are going to abandon your content immediately when you do that. Instead say, now the next thing you should do is click this playlist right here and get into, like we put together to find out more about this, or whatever the call to action is. You do that in like the final 10 seconds or so of the content, and then you just end it and then just wrap it up and let them take that action and move on.
Man, that was some fire content right there. You may want to rewind that part, grab a journal and outline your video a little bit, because you just broke down a framework for us to follow that will really help you get more views and make your video make a greater impact. But we still got more tips. Next is a community development strategy. I don't know if this gets talked about enough. So Tim, what do you mean here?
Community development is when you're starting to do things in your content intentionally to get that person who's a first-time viewer to be like, oh, this is good content. And I kind of like Sean. Like, he seems like a cool guy. And it's a little less about just content, and it's a little bit more about human connection. So it's like, I'm getting good value. That's what got them here. But the way you're going to keep them is that I like those guys, and I like Sean, and I like his story and his backstory, and I keep coming back for that. That's why I trust Sean more than anybody else. So that's why I like that brand more than any other brand, is because you're developing the relational value and those human signals. So there's a really good book that's been really helpful for me in this. It's a book called Primal Branding by Patrick Hanlon, not sponsored, so I hope that's okay. But what he does, he breaks down, well, he looks at all the top brands that develop cult-like followings, and he asks what made it really easy for people to fall in love with this brand. And you do a lot of them really well. A lot of the big channels that are on YouTube that are just blowing up are just like nailing all 7 of these things in their content. I told you real quick in the beginning, my creation story is the first one. Then we share what we believe about this, and there's a lot of things. And when you integrate that stuff into your content, that makes it way more easy for people to like engage and come back and be like, I like those guys, I get good value, and I'm passionate about them. So that's that engagement, building a community around that.
Yeah, and I can't recommend that book enough. You recommended that for years now, actually. So I read that, and I took cues. I was like, okay, let me try to incorporate these types of things. So if you haven't checked out Primal Branding, of course, we'll link to that in the description below. No miss book. Add it to your library and then follow those. It's like a checklist, and it really educates you on each of those tips. Primal Branding Branding is the book. And we're going to get into tip number 5 here in just a second. But hey, if you've been getting value out of this video, smash the like button. Let us know in the description below what your channel is all about and who you are trying to reach. That original question of having that channel strategy, so that we can also connect with others in the influencers community down below. And you know, Tim, when it comes to that 4th tip, that's actually, I think, something that I missed out on a little bit in my journey. I think I certainly have done it and people have made the connection with me, but I think I've been so like analytical and almost strategic and almost practical, and especially in tech reviews, that I sometimes have forgotten. Even when I started, I included more humor, more personality, and of course you got to deliver the value. But at times there was like a whole season where there was nothing, and the videos maybe practically performed or ranked or did whatever. But I've sometimes people tell me, they're like, I feel like I saw your personality for the first time when I saw you being goofy or doing whatever, and I was like, that's always how I am. But you're right, I maybe forgot to include that. And so being yourself really is how you can stand out on YouTube. Yeah,
it's the difference between someone watching a video and getting good content and then abandoning it and never again even remembering who you are, versus watching a video and being like, I want to watch more from that person. I'm going to subscribe and get what comes next because of that human connection. I would advise, if you guys are just thinking about this for the first time, I think what you did was really smart, that you should focus on delivering exactly what someone clicked for and just blowing their minds with how amazing this is. And then sometime by like the latter half of that video, it should be throwing in a personal story or throwing in like, this is why I believe this matters. Because beliefs, the strongest communities online and offline, they don't revolve around common interests. They actually revolve around shared beliefs. And so when you say like, I believe this is about reaching people and changing lives, some of you guys might not agree. You're like, I believe this is about feeling rich and popular. Like, okay, well, good for you. But like, so you're not going to gravitate with me or maybe Sean as much as you would maybe another creator who's just teaching you how to get rich and feel popular. So that belief is what binds strong communities together. When you state that, your community be like, oh, I believe that too. And they're going to be way more attached to you and your brand as a result.
Man, we got tip number 5 in a second, but second question of the day, what is a powerful belief that maybe you have or haven't shared on your YouTube channel? Such a good question, because people really connect with why and what you believe, and that's huge. But Tim, we still have another tip, and that is a discoverability strategy.
Yeah.
What does that mean, and how will that help us grow our channels and get more views?
This pulls it all together, okay? Most people start with discoverability, and they're just trying to like do the keyword thing, and they're trying to like rank for stuff, and they're like, why is this not working? And it's because YouTube's not getting the signals of like, is this content valuable for people? Like the viewers aren't getting the signals that make them emotionally connected, that leads to more watch time and things like that. So after all these things are in place, then when we work with our clients, then that's when we focus on discoverability, because that's when you're going to get the most bang for your buck, the most impact, is when all the branding signals are in place, people know who it's for, they know why they should care, you're practice delivering the value, you're blowing them away, and now when you make the content that's going out reaching these people, now it actually works, as opposed to jumping straight into like, I'm making a video about this thing. You can get some views, but the channel will have a hard time getting traction. So a couple quick ideas for this you guys can do right now is, one, think about where is my community hanging out online? And maybe you're like, my target audience also loves Harry Potter, and so I'm going to make some videos that tap into the Harry Potter community, and you're going to like feature something like that has to do with that. I'm not in that community, but something with them. Or like what Sean does, like I know Sean's like, my target audience wants to know, how do I get started on YouTube? And they're looking at gear and camera and gear. So I'm going to go where they're at and make content for their first step in the journey, right? Or maybe you get the idea, like where is your audience? It's not necessarily about making videos for a specific topic. It's about making videos for a specific person. So you can talk about gear, you can talk about YouTube strategy, you can talk about a wide variety of things that all aligns with the value of what this person wants. Okay, so also maybe think collaborations, super, really, really good, like in terms of getting exposure to new audience. I think it's hands down the #1 fastest way to get a shot in the arm of new subscribers. I don't know, that sounds violent, but you know what I mean? Of people who are engaged, and like we're doing here, we're at an event to do it, but you can do it with like live streaming. You can pull people into like Instagram lives with you or whatever you want to do, just to start featuring each other's audiences, and that is like a really good way to get quick subs as well.
Boom, well, there you go, 5 strategies for growing your channel. But here's the video that you're gonna wanna watch next. Tim and I have done some videos over on his channel, Video Creators, and you can just click or tap tap the screen right now to go watch those for more practical tips for how to get views right now on your content. If you want to check out another video for video influencers, just click or tap the screen, hit the like button if you got value today, and we will see you in the next video.
See ya.